This is the Mad Bag Gamer bringing you a reading of some books. This isn't going to be only books. This is going to include a dragon investigation status report. I'm in the Thalmor embassy right now doing the diplomatic immunity quest, and I'm going to go through some lore. First Emissary Elenwyn. We anticipate a breakthrough in our efforts to uncover the party or power behind the dragon resurrection phenomenon. Informant has identified a possible lead whom we have brought back to the embassy for a full interrogation. The subject is obstinate, but by all indications is holding back the information we seek. I have authorized intermediate manual uncoiling. Intermediate manual uncoiling. I do not expect more will be necessary unless you feel time presses. I know you prefer to be present for the final questioning. I will inform you immediately when the subject is fully receptive. 2 days should tell the tale. In the meantime, if you wish to audit our technique, your expertise is welcome as always. I have placed the prisoner in the cell closest to your office stairs for your convenience. Rulindil, 3rd Emissary. Alright, so that was the current status of the dragon investigation. So I guess this prisoner is important to their investigation of the dragons, and that's kind of interesting that the Thalmor have it listed as a dragon investigation. Delphine seems to think that the Thalmor are behind the dragon resurrection, but that would indicate that they're trying to find something out about it too. So I'm going to read the arguably next important one, which is going to be Ulfric Stormcloak, or I should say next most interesting one. And then I'm going to go through the other couple dossiers, all of which I found in this dungeon of Elenwyn's private building. I don't remember exactly what the building's called. Alright, so let's see what we have here. Status, Asset Uncooperative, Dormant Emissary Level Approval. Description, Jarl of Windhelm, Leader of Stormcloak Rebellion, Imperial Legion Veteran. So again, this is talking about Ulfric Stormcloak, the King of Windhelm, who used his voice to kill the former High King of Skyrim. Background. Ulfric first came to our attention during the First War against the Empire, when he was taken as a prisoner of war during the campaign for the White Gold Tower. Wow, so Ulfric was in Cyrodiil at that point. Under interrogation, we learned of his potential value, son of the Jarl of Windhelm, so obviously when he was young, and he was assigned as an asset to the interrogator, who is now First Emissary Elenwyn. He was made to believe information obtained during his interrogation was crucial in the capture of the Imperial City. The city had in fact fallen before he had broken. Okay, so he was told that the information he was giving them had already taken down the Imperial City. And then he was allowed to escape. That's awesome. They let him go. They let him think that he got out. After the war, contact was established, and he has proven his worth as an asset. The so-called Markarth incident was particularly valuable from the point of view of our strategic goals in Skyrim, although it resulted in Ulfric becoming generally uncooperative to direct contact. Yeah, okay, so Ulfric, he was genuinely fooled. He thought that, they got the information out of him and then he escaped, but actually they brought it down without his information and they let him escape. So they thought they were setting up an agent, but of course he stayed uncooperative, so he wasn't actually in cahoots with them. Operational notes. Direct contact remains a possibility under extreme circumstances, but in general the asset should be considered dormant. As long as the Civil War proceeds in its current indecisive fashion, we should remain hands off. Excuse me. The incident at Helgen is an example where an exception had to be made. Obviously, Ulfric's death would have dramatically increased the chance of an Imperial victory, and thus harmed our overall position in Skyrim. Oh, that is awesome! So the Thalmor, the Aldmeri Dominion, through the Thalmor, or vice versa, intervened at Helgen specifically to save Ulfric's life, so that Ulfric could continue the resistance and weaken Skyrim as a whole, so that they can sweep in after the Civil War's done and take everything over with ease. Both sides. Note, the coincidental intervention of the dragon at Helgen is still under scrutiny. The obvious conclusion is that whoever is behind the dragons also has an interest in the continuation of the war, but we should not assume, therefore, that their goals align with our own. Okay, so the Aldmeri, the Thalmor, didn't actually set that up. They're just kind of, I guess, speculating, noting it. A Stormcloak victory is also to be avoided, however, so Even indirect aid to the Stormcloaks must be carefully managed. Alright, so that's kind of interesting. That shows basically everything the Thalmor and the Aldmeri Dominion know about Ulfric and the Resistance, everything they think and have going on. So that indicates that they're not behind the dragons as a whole, though, the way Delphine thinks. Okay, hold on. Which one was this? This was the dossier for Esbern. I think Esbern is the prisoner right in front of me. Status: fugitive, capture only. Highest priority, emissary level approval. Description: male, Nord, late 70s. Whoa, that's definitely not the dude in front of me. Late 70s. He's old. Background: Esbern was one of the Blades lore masters prior to the First War against the Empire. Okay, so this is some other Blade, probably some fellow co-guildie or whatever you want to call it of Delphine, because she's a Blade. He was not a field agent, but is now believed to have been behind some of the most damaging operations carried out by the Blades during the pre-war years, including the Falinesti incident and the breach of the Blue River prison. His file had remained dormant for many years, an inexcusable error on the part of my predecessor, who has been recalled to Alinor for punishment and re-education, in the erroneous belief that he was unlikely to pose a threat due to his advanced age and lack of field experience. A salutary reminder to all operational levels that no Blades agent should be considered low priority for any reason. All are to be found and justice exacted upon them. Operational notes: as we are still in the dark as to the cause and meaning of the return of the dragons. Okay, so the Thalmor don't know anything about the dragons. I have made capturing Esbern our top priority, as he is known to be one of the experts in the dragon lore of the Blades. Regrettably, we have yet to match their expertise on the subject of dragons, which was derived from their Akaviri origins, and is still far superior to our own. So Thalmor don't really know much about dragons, and they know that the Blades do know a lot about dragons. Obviously, Delphine's already on to the fact that there's one dragon resurrecting them. Which remains largely theoretical. Okay, so even what the Blades know is only theoretical. The archives of Cloud Ruler Temple, which is believed to have been the primary repository of the oldest Blades lore, were largely destroyed during the siege, and although great effort has been made to reconstruct what was lost, it now appears that most of the records related to dragons were either removed or destroyed prior to our attack. So I know from playing Oblivion that Cloud Ruler Temple was indeed the seat of the Blades. You actually have to... You try to protect the Emperor dies, you end up finding an illegitimate son of the Emperor and taking the Emperor's amulet, both to Cloud Ruler Temple, and you kind of keep them safe there. It's a temple on the northernmost edge of Cyrodiil, which would be in the southern mountains of Skyrim. And it seems from what this book lists here that the Aldmeri or the Thalmor have sacked the Cloud Ruler Temple. They sieged it. They lost a lot of information, but they captured it and at least know something about the Blades from there. Thus, Esbern remains our best opportunity to learn how and why the dragons have returned. It cannot be ruled out that the Blades themselves are somehow connected to the dragon's return. We have recently obtained solid information that Esbern is still alive and hiding somewhere in Riften. Interrogation of a possible eyewitness is ongoing. We must proceed carefully to avoid Esbern becoming alerted to his danger. If he is indeed in Riften, he must not be given an opportunity to flee. Now that they say Riften, I want to say I've seen Esbern around somewhere. The name just rings a bell. Alright, so the last one, Thalmor Dossier Delphine. So Delphine is the Blades correspondent that I've been working with, the one that helped me witness the resurrection of a dragon. The one that lives in Riverwood. Status active. Capture or kill. High priority. Emissary level approval. Description: female Breton, mid-50s. Mid-50s, that's a little surprising. Background: Delphine was a high-priority target during the First War for both operational and political reasons. She was directly involved in several of the most damaging operations carried out by the Blades within the Dominion. She had been identified and was slated for the initial purge, but by bad luck was recalled to Cyrodiil just before the outbreak of hostilities. During the war, she evaded 3 attempts on her life, in one case killing an entire assassination team. Since then, we have only indirect evidence of her movements, as she has proven extremely alert to our surveillance. She should be considered very dangerous, and no move against her should be made without overwhelming force and the most careful preparation. She killed a whole team of their assassins. Operational notes: she is believed to still be working actively against us within Skyrim, although we have no location on her. Assumed to be working alone, as no other Blades are known to be active in Skyrim, and she has in the past avoided contact with other fugitive blades for her own security. One of the reasons she has so far evaded elimination. Interesting. So they're like splinter cells now, the blades. It seems like they don't have a leader or anything. They don't have any kind of organization. I mean, the only one I've found so far is living in a basement of an inn in Riverwood, so I guess that all supports. Her continued existence is an affront to all of us. Hold on. What did that say? Any information on her whereabouts or activities should be immediately forwarded to the third emissary. Alright, so there you have a little bit of background on this quest that I'm doing right now. Whoa, hold up.
Listen up, spy. You're trapped in here, and
we
have your accomplice.
I'm gonna have to go
Surrender
back to...
immediately, or you both die.
Never mind.
Silence,
I'm dead
traitor.
already.
Move.
Oh, Malborn. Oh! He survived a whack. I'll give him credit. Oh no, they're not killing him. They're just moving him. I guess I'm hiding. They don't know I'm here. Okay, I'm gonna continue.
He's got to be here somewhere.
Back to the part, and I believe I'm going to interrogate this prisoner. I've still got enemies around, so I've got to be really careful. Got another objective there too. Alright, let's chop out of this lore sequence.